What's going on, guys? Live TCG here. Today we're going to be taking a look at Prismatic Evolution's PSA 10s versus Terastal Festival PSA 10 copies. I'm honestly kind of scared, so let's see how this goes. Alright, so we pulled up eBay real quick and typed in Prismatic Evolution PSA 10s, and we're just going to see what pops up last sold, and we're going to go through it together. So we have the Roaring Moon at $1,050. We have the Eevee, the Pokemon Center exclusive one, at $780 plus $50 shipping from the United Kingdom. I've seen sales a lot higher than this for this card. Does it surprise me? No. Do I think it's worth it at that price? To be honest, no. But, people are willing to pay. Next up, we have my favorite card from the set is the Sylveon. I think this has the best artwork. I think the artwork is better than the Moonbreon or the Sunbreon, whatever you want to call it, at $1,600 for the Sylveon. PSA 10, that is like a 3 times multiplier. I think they're around 500 for the raw copy, so 1,600 makes sense. Is it overpriced? I think so, just because if you go back to Evolving Skies, those cards should be worth significantly more than these, since it's an older set, and these are kind of, at least, they're a little too high in comparison to an older set for being so new. Next up, we have the Master Ball? Yep, Master Ball Eevee at $900 for a PSA 10. That's way too high. I would definitely want to, you could probably get 2 or 3 of the evolutions raw for the price of one PSA 10. I don't know if they're super hard to grade. It's kind of too early to tell with these cards. Next up, we have the Umbreon Master Ball. 2 sales here, one at $742 and one at $560. That's a $200 difference in the same exact day. So either somebody got super lucky or somebody is mega beat. Also have another Sylveon at $1,425 from PSA. Next up, we have the best card. Best card from the set is the Umbreon at $3,500 and $3,475. This is maybe more expensive than the Moonbreon. The Moonbreon from Evolving Skies has kind of been fluctuating lately. It did have a big dip recently, but starting to come back up. Was probably half the price in the summer, and now it's over a $3,000 card. So do I think from Prismatic Evolutions this Umbreon deserves to be over $3,000 in a PSA 10? Definitely not. Still a little bit early. If you are in the market, I would not be picking up any PSA 10 copies of these cards right now. If they do go up, that's okay, because you made the smart play, and it's never a good idea to buy cards when they're at all-time highs. Even though they have just continued to go up lately, and it kind of just defies logic and smart thinking, or what would be smart thinking. But now, it's just a better idea to buy the cards you like that haven't spiked. If they have spiked, wait, or you just missed out at that point, because it's not good to buy cards when they're already doubled in price recently. Another one, we have the Iron Crown. Pretty cool art on this one. Not my favorite. $250 for PSA 10. Maybe like a double up. I'm not sure the raw price. Probably a little over $100. Another Umbreon at $3,600. Iron Valiant at $300. Pretty cool art as well for that. Then we have the Jolteon at $900. Probably one of the lesser cool looking cards from the set in terms of the evolutions. Definitely not my favorite out of probably all of them. Probably my least favorite art. Also have another one at $504 from Australia, so that's a super big gap. Same day sold, so super weird. Also have the Eevee at $850. Then next up we have the Flareon at $937, 34 bids and $54 shipping from United Kingdom. United Kingdom expensive to ship, man. But $937. My antivirus that keeps popping up because I'm not paying for it anymore. Do I think $937 is worth it for Flareon? Definitely not. Another Sylveon at $1,200. Roaring Moon $950. Here's one we haven't seen yet. Glaceon at $1,450. This is definitely top 4 for me in the evolution lineup. Then we have the Dragapult at $350. This is cool. This seems like a normal number that would be fair. Another Iron Valiant at $227. Here's a hot take that I think is super duper underrated is the Ceruledge. However you want to pronounce that. I'm not too good with the newer Pokemon, but the Ceruledge at $1,150. I also think the art in this one goes super hard, and the Ceruledge from Surging Sparks is also definitely a little bit underrated in my opinion. Definitely badass looking art. And as we continue to go down, now we do have finally we have a Leafeon at $1,000. This is probably the second nicest art after the Sylveon in my opinion. Then it would be Umbreon. After that, even the you know what, maybe the Espeon is, I don't even know what order, my mind changes every day, but $1,000 for the Leafeon. And then in the same day, $840. So there's no good way to really comp these at the moment. Super risky to buy if you're, trying to flip, which I don't know anybody who's trying to flip these. Usually people stay clear from modern for a little bit until one or two sets after, just so the prices kind of settle and you know what it's really worth. Then we have the Espeon. This is one of the cleaner looking cards. A lot of them are very, very busy. Like the Moonbreon for me is just a little bit too busy. The Leafeon, just right. Vaporeon, just right. Sylveon, just right. Yeah, so $1,400 for the Espeon. We have a Blood Moon Ursaluna at $500. That's definitely a little bit ridiculous. It is a cool looking card, but definitely not my favorite. Then we have the Down Bad Ogerpon at $120 for PSA 10. It's probably double or triple up, but low pop. I like how they put that, probably because he's the only guy who's sending in Ogerpongs. But honestly, if you pull this card yourself and you send it in, you're making money. You won't catch me buying these for a flip. Okay, we have the Gold Pikachu at $560. I wish they, did something a little different. I like when they change the art up. I don't like when they just slap cards from other sets or reuse art and just make it gold. It's kind of like a cop-out. Not really a fan. I like how in Crown Zenith the gold cards are still in color and just have like a gold background. A lot cleaner looking, a lot more detail, not just like this, And then let's try to wrap this up. We have the Raging Bolt at $513. Definitely super sick art on this as well. Kind of like Japanese inspired themed, like old school looking to me. And I'm kind of biased because I love the legendary dogs a lot. So $513 for the Raging Bolt. Definitely super duper expensive. A lot better things you could do with that money. And that's probably going to wrap up the English portion. Let's go to the Japanese portion. Alright guys, now we're going to take a look at the Terastal Festival Japanese PSA 10 copies. First up, Roaring Moon, just like the English, at $100. That is 10 times less than the English version, just to show you how overpriced English is right now. Even for Japanese, that's probably a little high, but what would you rather have? I'd feel a lot more comfortable spending $100 on a PSA 10 in Japanese than $1,000 in English. Then we have Eevee at $105. Another Eevee at $94. Like the art on this one a little bit better. We have the Master Ball variant at $100 as well. And now, in my opinion, here's where the real value is. And I think long term, these are good pickups at these prices, in my opinion only. Are the Evolutions in Japanese PSA 10, because they're not significant. They are significantly more than the raw copies, but not by a lot. And you have the Espeon at $132, $143. So if this is anywhere around like $70 right now raw, it's basically double, when a lot of English cards are quadruple for the PSA 10 copy. And if you're going to spend $70, not that it's close enough to $132, but if you plan on grading it, probably better off just buying the PSA 10, because if you pay $20 to grade it, 70, 80, 90, you're in there for $90 already. Shipping $100, just spend the extra $30 that you were going to waste on packs and Target and pull nothing anyway, and get the PSA 10 copy. All right, we have the Flareon at $105 as well. Shadow Z&G Emporium. So funny enough, I bought 3 packs of Terastal Festival last week, and I actually pulled the Flareon myself, and I bought 1 ETB in English for Prismatic, and I also pulled the Flareon. So now I have in both languages. Very lucky. Also, the Sylveon, $245 plus $28 shipping. Again, my favorite from the set. Definitely shows pretty much double in price over all of the other ones. The raw copy of this is about 130 to 150 bucks right now. So another double up there, or just about a double up. The raw copy of that is worth basically what these are in PSA 10s, and I'd rather have PSA 10 copies, but you know, I think the value's there. Next up, Vaporeon, $124, $110. Guys, I don't know if this is just me, but that seems like a steal, to be completely honest. And going down, we have the Umbreon at $600. That's a little bit high. I think the sales have typically been around the mid 500s right now. It has been dropping off a little bit, which is I'm happy about. I'm waiting for these to go below 500, and then it's definitely a sick scoop. $600 again for the Umbreon, 130 bucks for the Glaceon. Pikachu, $116. That's pretty good. A little surprising. Sylveon at $215. Now, one we haven't seen yet, Leafeon, $139. Definitely beats 800 to 1,000 in English. And also the Japanese have way better texture and a lot easier to grade a PSA 10 copy over the English. So let's see, we have another Flareon at 120, Roaring Moon at 100. We have a Master Ball Espeon at 90 bucks. See guys, another Umbreon at 550. That's just about where market is right now. Maybe you get lucky, go to a show, get a little bit cheaper. I would definitely hold off on buying them for now. Cereledge at $87. Guys, that's seems like a good deal to me. I don't know if I'm just being blinded by it being such a good set and the hype around it, but these prices seem pretty good to me. All right, now we have some of the Master Ball PSA 10 Umbreons. We have one at $323 and another one at 260 bucks. Kind of hard to tell where it's going to comp at because it is a little all over the place. Just whatever people are willing to pay. We have the Atticus PSA 10 at $29. Gets no love. Probably good to pick up just for a PSA 10 set while it's cheap. Have the Pokeball Umbreon at 45 bucks for a PSA 10. Not terrible. And if you include grading cost and the regular cost of the card, probably better off just buying it than sending it in yourself. So yeah, there's definitely a ton more sales on the Japanese side as opposed to the English. Right now we have a Blood Moon Ursaluna at $69, another Raging Bolt at 73 bucks 2-3 days ago, the regular Umbreon EX at $38. And that's gonna wrap it up for today, guys. Just wanted to go over what Prismatic versus Terastal was selling for in PSA 10 copies. Let me know down below what you guys are buying, what you're selling, what do you think is overrated, what do you think is underrated, what do you guys think is a good buy in this market, just because everything is so high right now. Feels like absolutely nothing is a good buy, so let me know.